welcome to Toronto International Film Festival. We are with the team of aKasha, directed by Hajooj KUKA, and his DOP, Giovanni
P.Autran.
So this is a Sudanese feature, a narrative film after Bits of the Antonov, which was a documentary. How did you jump from documentary to fiction?
Okay, so when I did the documentary, one of the main things about doing it was to create a film that inspires. So if you watch a film about a war zone and whatnot, I don't have the one narrative that normally is given by about Africa and war, which is like destruction and sadness and all that. I showed people fighting and all that. So the next film, when I started showing the film in the area and having people from there seeing it in screenings, I noticed that they started laughing almost throughout the whole film. And the reaction was so completely different than people from outside. And while they're watching it, it was exciting to get together and watch a film and laugh and stuff. It was like, people want some sort of light humored kind of film. So I was like, okay, my next film is gonna be that. So a light humored fiction film that is made to get people together, inspire them, and make them laugh. So that's how this came about.
So it's true, there's a lot of humor in your movie, and I wonder, how did you cast these characters? Are they theater actors or movie actors, or not at all?
Okay, so the war in Sudan, and this is also part of the film, when it comes to the rainy season, it gets really muddy and the tanks and the cars can't move, so the war stops. So when that stops, I was living there, and in the war season, I'm covering the wars, I'm the front line and doing all that miserable, hard work that's very important. And when the war stops, my work kind of stops. There's nothing really happening, everybody's going to farms. I started working with the youth, and we used to do theater of the oppressed, drama, forum theater, and with having everybody get together, the youth, and slowly we did a few fiction films, short, just to do in the mobile cinema, really quickly edited and put together. And from that project, I started writing the fiction. So 90% of the people in it were cast because they were part of those smaller projects. Except, for example, my lead actress, she wasn't part of that project, but she just was somebody just struck me when I saw her, and I was like, okay, I'm casting you. And one or two other characters that I didn't mean to cast them. For example, the bride in the film, I was casting her sister, but then I found out that the bride herself always wanted to be a bride but never got married. So she took on that role because this was her wedding. So she took it over, and it was beautiful. So that's how they were casted.
So this is shot in a war zone. How did you manage to shoot and to bring an international team?
Okay, so it was, in the beginning I started shooting, I didn't have any money. So I had some money from shooting beats, bought some camera, we started shooting. We're just gonna shoot this film. And a little bit into it, we got a little bit of money, and then it was like, okay, perfect. We need a DOP and a sound guy. So for the DOP, we needed somebody who's crazy enough to come to a war zone, who can handle no electricity, eat whatever people are eating, and know all the equipment that he needs to work with, just figure it out. Somebody who can just, and there's very few people in the world who can do that, and one of them is Giovanni.
When did you meet him?
So I had worked a few years before on doing some videos for a group called Newbury Reports, and Giovanni helped with some of the editing then. So we met in Nairobi, and that was back in 2012, 2013. And since then, he talked about wanting to come to Nuba and wanting to come, and he knew a lot about it because he's seen a lot of the footage, of documentary stuff we have from there, and he was down. So I talked to him, I'm like, I'm shooting this fiction film and whatnot, and early on he read a very early script and he was like, okay, I'm part of the series.
So what memories do you have from the shooting?
I have a lot of memories from the shooting, but I think the overall thought was to bring sort of the cinematic language to Hajooj's story with, the bare minimum. Like we're literally smuggled ourselves and, as much equipment as we could in. We were smuggled from one side of it. From the other side, we were invited. Depends on who you talk to. So, the memories were great. I mean, it was a great adventure.
And regarding these low budget projects, how do you feel to be selected in Toronto?
Oh, okay, so it's actually great to be back in Toronto. This is where I started my festival career or whatever. And the best thing about Toronto to me and why I'm excited about being here is the audience. Because Toronto has these audience where they want to look for something that's different, they want to experience something different, and they really give it love. So that's why I'm excited to be here, see the audience, and interact with them and see how they react to the film and whatnot. So I'm excited for tomorrow, which is the premiere.
And regarding Sudanese cinema, I know that Ala Abu Jamad, if I pronounce well his name, is preparing a feature film as well, but there are not so many filmmakers. So what does it represent to shoot a feature film?
Yeah, Amjad Abul Ila is working on his first feature, fiction. There's a few people who are doing documentaries. There's Sohaib Qisman Barry is doing a really exciting fiction documentary that will come out soon about cinema. And he was just in Final Cut, so it was great to meet him. There's a woman who's doing a documentary on female football players. So there's a few things that are happening. There's another guy who's doing a documentary also on the music scene, special music scene in Sudan. But fiction-wise, other than my film, it's been a drought for a while, and hopefully a few films will be coming out. So I'm hoping that this film will excite people to create other, and realize that okay, there is a movement, and there's more people who are creating films. Right now that didn't happen, but I feel like there's excitement. There's people out there, filmmakers who are trying to do. There's a couple of shorts that are happening. So there is this whole group of people who are like separate and some of them connected, who are excited about cinema for some good reasons, some wrong reasons, some but I'm actually more into the social activism part of using cinema for social movement, getting people together, that kind of stuff. So I'm more interested in that than cinema purely for entertainment. I think both have a value, but I'm more in that side. So I'm hoping that I will inspire more people to see the power of cinema to bring people together, and I'm hoping more filmmakers will use that tool in that way.
So as our readers would like to know more about your movie, can you recommend 3 reasons to watch your film?
Ooh, 3 reasons to watch my film.
Yeah.
Other than, I don't know if last time you watched a fiction film from Sudan that is both fun and socially conscious. I mean, it's good for you. So fun, socially conscious, and strong women characters.
Good points.
I think good points.
So watch aKasha by Hajooj KUKA.